If you get horrible customer service from a company, you will likely tell people about that.
Yeah, get this though, a company is ordering a Layton couple to pay thousands, all because they don't like the review they posted online. So they decided it might be time to get Gephardt.
Let that sink in. Fined for writing a bad review on the internet. I mean, this is not some arbitrary threat either. This couple said, we're not going to pay that fine. So this company went and dinged their credit. Now the couple's credit score is ruined, all because they wrote a negative, albeit truthful, they say, review of a company with lousy customer service.
It's all the different Sonic characters.
For Christmas, way back in 2008, Jen Palmer's husband ordered her a number of trinkets from the website cleargear.com.
You never get your Christmas present?
No.
For 30 days, cleargear.com never sent the products, so the transaction was automatically canceled by PayPal. Frustrated, Jen says she tried to call the company but could never get through to anyone. So she turned to the internet, writing this negative review on ripoffreport.com. There is absolutely no way to get in touch with a physical human being, it says, and it accuses cleargear.com of having horrible customer service practices. That was the end of it, Jen thought, until 3 years later when Jen's husband got an email saying that he owes thousands of dollars, and the amount is being reported as unpaid to his credit report.
I hear him screaming from the basement. He's swearing his head off and trying to figure out what this is.
Cleargear says that Jen violated a non-disparagement clause. Take a look. Hidden in the terms of sale on cleargear.com, it says, in an effort to ensure fair and honest public feedback and to prevent the publishing of libelous content in any form, your acceptance of this sales contract prohibits you from taking any action that negatively impacts cleargear.com, its reputation, products, services, management, or employees. And it goes on to say that if you violate the clause, you have 72 hours to remove your post, or a $3,500 bill is coming your way and will be reported to a credit reporting agency if not paid.
This is fraud. They are blackmailing us for telling the truth.
Still, that bullying worked. Scared, Jen tried to take down the negative report, but Ripoff Report will not let her. So, Jen and her husband disputed the ding with the credit bureaus, but cleargear.com says the charge is valid, and so the ding remains.
Each one of these are rejection letters.
The result? Jen and her husband are amassing rejection letters from lenders as they try to apply for loans to buy a new car and fix their home's furnace.
I have the right to tell somebody else, these guys ripped me off.
Furious, Jen asked me to investigate. As we began looking into this, we quickly learned that Jen is not alone in her frustrations with cleargear.com. Many posts in addition to hers on ripoffreport.com, and in 2010, the company was slapped with an F rating by the Better Business Bureau for not delivering products purchased online in a timely manner. The company's rating today is a B.
Thank you for calling cleargear.com. A customer representative is unavailable by phone at this time.
When we called cleargear.com, we were unsuccessful getting through to anyone. But by email, a person who did not identify him or herself defended the $3,500 charge, referring again to their terms of sale. As for Jen being threatened, remove that post or face a fine, the company said it was not blackmail, but rather a diligent effort to help them avoid the fine.
I have never seen anything like that before.
Jeff Hunt is a First Amendment attorney. I asked him to weigh in on Jen's story.
I think it's outrageous that a company like this would try to force a consumer to relinquish their First Amendment rights to speak about the product as a condition of the sale.
Hunt says he thinks there is a good chance a judge would say that non-disparagement clause is unconstitutional.
I have a serious question whether a court would enforce that kind of covenant because it's just massively overbroad and it's against public policy.
I want this off my husband's credit report.
As for Jen, she cannot afford a lawyer. So I put her in touch with the media relations people at the credit bureau, Experian. She hopes that one final appeal will get that ding removed from her credit report. Yeah, and in Jen's situation, there is actually some question as to whether or not that non-disparagement clause even actually existed way back when she wrote that negative review. Cleargear.com says it did, but website archives show that it didn't. Either way, for you and I, be warned. If you buy anything from cleargear.com and you don't like the product or the service, they say you are contractually forbidden from telling anybody about it. If you do, expect them to send you a bill. If you don't pay that bill, expect them to ding your credit. If you've got something you want me to investigate, give me a call. My number is 801-839-1250, or you can email me, gephardt@kutv.tv. This is certainly one we'll be following up as the credit bureaus make their final decisions.
That's bizarre.
Real
That's
bizarre.
All right, Matt.
It is a daily pain for Charlotte Ramsey, forced to drive nearly 2 miles to the post office just to get her mail. Ironic, considering her front door is only about 20 feet from her community mailboxes, but for Charlotte and 15 of her neighbors, the mailbox is down.
Here's the post, and it has rusted. See how it has rusted all inside?
Charlotte says it fell more than a month ago, but it began rusting several years ago. A concern she says she and her neighbors have raised with the post office. You knew this was going to fall before it fell.
Oh, absolutely. It's had holes in it for at least 2 years.
Well, it's down now, and this community says they want it replaced. But they say no one with the post office can give them a straight answer as to when they will get around to it.
She said, to be honest with you, the last one took 6 months to get.
6 months? And you have to go all the way to the post office just to get your mail?
Right.
Frustrated, and with the blessing of her equally put-out neighbors, Charlotte asked me to investigate.
I understand the frustration.
Margaret Putnam with the post office says it can take some time to replace these large mailboxes because they have to order them and have them shipped in. But what about these neighbors who say they've been reporting the mailbox was about to fall for months in advance? Putnam says the post office never got the message.
We couldn't find anyone that knew about it or was aware of it. I think the first time that we were aware of it is when it actually fell over.
As for replacing the mailbox now, Putnam says that after we called her, she was able to expedite things.
We just asked the contractor to move it up, and we got it installed today.
And just like that, 24 hours after we first talked to the post office, Charlotte and her neighbors have a brand new mailbox. Jen Small bought this 2004 Chevy Suburban from a Utah car dealer.
We're just looking for something reliable.
And reliable it seemed to be. Despite having more than 100,000 miles, during the slow test drive on surface streets, everything seemed just fine. And the SUV has a clean title. So Jen bought it and she drove it home. It was not until that drive home at freeway speeds that Jen says she first realized something was not right.
Going down the freeway and you hit a little bump, it kind of almost feels like it's gonna flip over. It just rocks.
Jen says she took the SUV to her mechanic, who asked a surprising question.
He just said, "This is a salvage car, isn't it?" And I said, "No, it's got a clean title, it's not." And he said, "No, it's had to have been salvaged. Everything underneath it is just bent and ruined."
Salvaged? No. Again, the title is clean. Plus, according to Utah law, if a car's title is branded as salvaged, then it must come sold with a sticker in the window that reads, "Warning, this salvage vehicle may not be safe for operation," and Jen says there was no sticker. But just to be sure, Jen and her mechanic pulled the Carfax report, and
Within 2 minutes, he pulled up the Carfax and knew it was salvaged.
That's right. According to Carfax, way down in Arizona, way back in 2011, the SUV was stolen and crashed, and the insurance company declared the damaged vehicle a total loss.
There's fraud somewhere in this.
Now, Jen wants to know why this SUV was sold to her with that salvage brand removed.
It's frustrating because I don't think it was somebody right here, and I don't know how to find out who that was.
Jen asked me to investigate. We began investigating by retracing the SUV's steps since that crash. First, Arizona, the state that had issued that salvage title. For privacy reasons, Arizona could not give us an exact copy of the title that exists in their database, but a spokesperson assured us that here, in the box labeled Arizona brands, it is clearly stamped salvaged, and it left Arizona with that salvage brand. From there, we tracked the SUV north, following a long trail of public records. And ultimately, that trail brought me right here, Helena, Montana's capital city. The first mystery solved. It was Montana where that salvage brand disappeared. But now the bigger mystery, how?
The clerk processed it as if it was a clean title.
Brenda Nordland speaks for Montana's DMV. She would not speculate on whether or not she thought this was fraud or whether or not Montana's DMV clerk made an honest mistake. What is clear is that the paperwork has become unclear. How about in this box specifically? Can you read what that says? Take a look at that salvage title as it exists today in Montana's archives. The box where the salvage stamp should be, completely illegible.
There appears to be something that is obscuring that area where the brand denotation or designation would appear. It's very unclear in that area.
But worse, to protect itself against any title fraud, Montana and many other states have a fail-safe, the National Motor Vehicle Titling Service, which, according to Montana DMV's website, is always checked before ever issuing a title. Nordland says that at the time Jen's SUV was titled in Montana, that system would have popped a big warning box right up on the DMV clerk's screen, warning them that something was wrong.
They have the ability to further research that report or not. In this situation, I believe that they did not follow up on that warning box.
Is it policy that they should?
It is policy that they should.
I know we wouldn't have bought it.
So what does this all mean for Jen now? Well, good news. Montana says that because they made the mistake, they are liable. And as a result of this investigation, they are now working with Jen to refund her some of the money she paid for that salvaged SUV. Chris Spencer bought himself a new cell phone. He had to. The one he sent in for repairs, he cannot seem to get back. Why? T-Mobile says they never got it.
Sent it into their service repair center in Texas, and it didn't get there. At least that's what they told me.
But wait a minute, Chris has proof that he not only sent it, but that it arrived.
They got a signed signature from this person, David Graham.
But now, T-Mobile is ignoring this evidence.
The research form never came up with anything. Your phone never arrived.
So, after more than a month without his T-Mobile phone, Chris asked me to investigate. So this time, we contacted T-Mobile on Chris's behalf. Not through customer service, but through their external communications department. And just like that, they were finally able to locate Chris's phone in their warehouse. In a statement, T-Mobile wrote, "This was an unfortunate incident and not the kind of experience we would like any of our customers to have."
Is a $350 phone really worth losing a loyal customer? Apparently it is to them.
And because it took so long, T-Mobile agreed to send him a refund rather than a new phone. A refund that he just got today, 2 months after he first sent in his phone for repairs.
I'm such a horror fan, and Halloween's just, I don't know, I just love it.
Chuck and Lisa Slaymaker are hoping to exchange their wedding vows in a zombie-themed ceremony.
I don't want to get married like everybody else does. I want something unique and something just weird.
The couple saved up for a year and booked a haunted house in Las Vegas called the Goratorium.
$1,857.59.
But just 3 weeks before their wedding date, an email arrives not from the wedding planner, but from the company's attorney with bad news.
They filed bankruptcy.
With rooms booked and close family and friends ready to head for Sin City with no place to have a wedding, Lisa and Chuck asked me to investigate. We began our investigation with court filings and found that, sure enough, the haunted house is in Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But that does not mean that Chuck and Lisa have no recourse, according to U.S. trustee Dwayne Gilman. Gilman says the best bet of getting your money back when a company goes bankrupt? Act fast.
If you're within the 90-day period, notify your bank or credit card company that you haven't received the services and to cancel that charge.
Well, too much time has passed for Lisa and Chuck to dispute this with their credit card, but as consumers, Gilman says that they still can try to get on a priority list, and that way when the company's assets are sold, they will have a decent shot of getting some money back.
Get on the horn to everybody that's around the case, in particular any trustee, and let them know that you're worried and let them know that your interests matter.
When the minister pronounces you guys, do you kiss the bride or do you bite her? I mean, zombie-themed wedding.
Yeah, I might bite her. Just give her a little nibble.
In the meantime, there is still the spooky wedding to try and save. Good news. When a different Las Vegas company called A. Chaplin heard about Lisa and Chuck's situation, they jumped into action, waiving a lot of their fees and scrambling with short notice, ultimately saving their zombie-themed Las Vegas wedding.